Everybody, welcome back to the Driveway Engineer. Today I'm going to narrate going over the internal modifications to my 4L80E. So here I'm splitting apart my pump with a, I think those are 10mm bolts. There's 5 of them, zip them out, the pump comes apart. There's one that has like a little oil return that goes in a certain spot. So you want to make sure that you get it back where it came from. I don't really see it, but I'm pretty sure I just took it out. But anyway, there's no gasket on these pumps. There's nothing like that. So just pop them apart. You need to have a giant hose clamp on hand to put it back together so that you can line it up. If it's not lined up perfectly, it will stop you from putting together the pump halves and putting it in the transmission. So hopefully I can keep my giant head out of the shot, because I thought I did a better job with that, but apparently not. So you can see that this is a gear rotor style pump. It's not really susceptible to being damaged like a 4L60 or a Turbo 350 with the vanes. The first mod that you want to do is right behind where the front seal goes. You take a 1/4 inch drill bit and drill that hole out to 1/4 inch, and that hole is pretty deep. It goes down a few inches. So what'll happen is it'll push too much pressure, and it can't. That's the exhaust for all the oil to the front seal. So it'll build up too much pressure, and it'll push that seal out because it can't get back fast enough. So by drilling this hole out, you're allowing it to get back faster. So now you can see, hopefully you can see in that rectangular port where the drill bit comes all the way through. And that's where it goes. I didn't see it on my screen. You probably can't either, but it comes out. Next up, you want to stick your bushing in to the front right there where I just pointed. Then you're going to want to do your line to lube hole, which is right there in the little rectangular one. This is a 0.060 drill bit. It works best if you center punch that and just drill through it at an angle. I'll show how it comes through here shortly. Once I put all my drill bits away, apparently, and put my head back in the shot again. So yeah, it goes through like that. You want to clean it out. Obviously, clean all this stuff out. Do the best you can with it, whatever. Next up, you're going to want to take an 1/8 inch drill bit through the back side of the pump and the stator support here. That little hole that I pointed at is only like 60 thou or something. You want to take it out to 1/8 of an inch to get more oil flowing. The pump gears is what I'm showing here. They go with the little dots facing you. Then here's a shot of the hole behind the front seal, the 1/4 inch hole. Be careful to stay out of that bushing, and then the seal goes over top of it. And welcome back. I have the transmission buttoned up, the main part, the main case, all the internal components. Coconut is out here to help me today. Coconut, say hello to everybody. Diddly dee, you're a lovely coconut. She wants to go outside and terrorize the neighborhood. So I covered all the internal mods in the last video that I'll narrate over, so forgive me if I repeat myself or anything. I probably will. We got our cup plug here for the dual feed. All the holes have been drilled bigger, etc., etc. So what I have here to make up the difference, I have a new internal harness from Rostra. These work great. This is the part number. If you have any kind of oil inside there, you'll go into limp mode. It's a pretty common 4L80 problem. So I just bought a new harness. Just to kind of not have to deal with that again. This is a boost valve for the pump. And that's the Sonics part number. 34200-03. What this does is this seals up the boost valve in the pump so that it doesn't cross leak. What I have here is a shift recalibration kit from ckperformance.com. And this comes with a couple different regulator springs for the boost valve. It comes with a cut plug. It comes with the valve body gasket. And it comes with an accumulator delete. I'm going to delete the... Bear with me a moment here. I'm going to be deleting the 3-4 accumulators because I want to control my shift feel with hydraulics. And I don't want to fight with the spring and stuff. So, yeah, I'm going to get started installing these things, and I will bring you back as needed to show you what's going on. The first mod is to the pump, to the boost valve. I think I probably already said that. So what I have here is two different things. I have the Sonics replacement boost valve and sleeve, and then these springs are from the CK Performance kit. Okay, so this is the stock sleeve, the stock valve, the stock buffer tube, the stock washer, and the stock spring. This is the Sonics sleeve, the Sonics valve. You see how it's kind of relieved. This is a relief cut plug that goes down in here. Sorry. Goes down in here if you pull. There's a roll pin if you have the pump halves apart, but I'm not going to separate my pump, and you don't have to either. If you have your transmission in the car, you can do this and just ignore this. It's just like a Transgo kit. I had to pull my pump out because I couldn't get the valve out. And of course, once I pulled the pump out, the valve fell out. Anyway, the CK Performance kit comes with two springs. Purple for under 650 foot-pounds. Orange for over 650 foot-pounds. This gives you 185 PSI. This gives you 220 PSI. I'm going to go with this one even though I'm well under 600 foot-pounds at the moment. I won't be forever because I have that. So, I don't have it. I probably won't use it this year, but I am going to use it and I don't want to drop the pan again. So, the order of things is, I have this. It's also helpful for you guys to see. You drop the little buffer spring in, your stock one. You drop your new spring in. Okay, that goes like that. Sorry, my pump's rolling around. This washer goes on top. Like so. And then you can assemble these two like this. I'm going to put a little lube in there. The whole thing goes through the top, and you jam the snap ring back on. And you're done. So I will be back when I get to the next mod. Up next, I do the check balls. These are Torlon, whatever. CK has the instructions on where to put them. If you're doing this, I started to actually, I put Vaseline on them to retain them. If you're doing this in a vehicle, that'll help them stay up while it's, you know, over your head. But basically, you skip these two because you're deleting the accumulators, and you install all the rest. The Torlon check balls won't eat away at the valve body plate, the separator plate, so much as the hardened steel ones do. So that's why I use them. I'm going to move on to the valve body modifications now. So I'll be back shortly. So next up is the separator plate. The CK kit comes with a new separator plate. You can also drill out your stock separator plate. This one's a little thicker. Also, I have some wear on mine from the check balls, which is normal. Right there, you'll see that, which is why we went to the Torlin, but also why we went to the thicker. I've identified the holes here, number 2, 3, and 4. There's also instructions in the CK kit. He gives you size recommendations. I went to 115. I went full retard, so I've never wished... Like, shift firmness, for me, is just like gear ratio. Like, I've never been like, gosh, I wish I had less gear, or less cam, or less boost, or... It's just not a thing for me. This is the accumulator housing. It just pulls off 8mm bolts. Get these springs. Carefully set them aside. Take your stock separator plate and gasket and carefully set it aside. Then you lay your new gasket down and bolt your new plate on. So this is going to go like this. Well, I'll bring you back in just a minute. Set your gasket here, set your separator plate on top of it, and set your accumulator to delete plate on top of that. I'll be right back to show you what it looks like. That's how that goes. There's no gasket between here and here. It's really just a flat plate, and you can make one yourself if you wanted to. But, you know, for 80 bucks, the CK kit's pretty good. So, at this point, you're pretty much ready to throw your gasket on and throw the valve body onto the transmission. So, I will bring you back when that is done. And that's what it looks like all put back together. Make sure you put your little tab over your feed to the rear output. Make sure that you have your shift selector and your little rooster comb here. And that's it. You're good to go till you twist the input shaft off, which will happen around 750 horsepower usually. But, you know, people will run them further. You see that this is, you know, a pretty basic build. I didn't do any extra clutches or any crap like that. You don't have to do any of that with a 4L80, which is why I use them. So, the next video about the transmission will be about the budget-minded converter that I found for 500 bucks, which is a good $100 cheaper. And it stalls to a higher stall than what the Circle D does that everybody's using. So, this is going to be kind of a long, boring video, but I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope it helps you out. And as always, feel free to hit me up on the Driveway Engineer Facebook group if you have any questions. And we'll see you next time on the Driveway Engineer.